I'm Moni. What's good, everybody? So, just wanted to tune in some news again, and this one's a little bit controversial, I guess you could say. So, let's watch.
The benchmarks are only guidelines. The state left the final decision up to districts on purpose, meaning there is nothing they can do to punish districts that decide to reopen anyway. Superintendent Hoffman saying this puts teachers in a tough position of deciding between the profession they love and the health risk to themselves and their.
That's a little weird. I feel like I don't know some type of I don't know. She trying to insert some type of bias or what kind of punishment? If it's a guideline, why does it have to be a punishment? Like I don't know. Just very interesting. They like to insert some type of narratives a lot of times in their little introduction segment. It's very interesting. That's just me, though. Maybe if you guys feel otherwise, I don't know. I just felt like she was trying to interject something there. Kind of interesting.
Families. ABC 15's Cameron Polam checked in with teachers today who say there's just no easy answer.
There's no doubt the similarities are clear.
God, we want them here so bad. It's, what we do. It's kind of, what we live for.
It's extremely important that kids are in the classroom.
But so are the differences.
I really despise these news corporations cutting off people when they're talking. It's like, I would like to hear the context, but maybe it's not that bad for these two particular examples. But if you watch these things, it's like, it's so rampant. They just cut it off, right? Like, like they're not even finished with their sentence. I'd like to have the context.
Coming back to school with something so rampant and contagious and completely unknown as to how it's going to affect you is really scary.
Based on the studies I've seen, I am not at all worried about getting COVID from a student.
Two teachers currently conduct.
Sounds like one person listens, gets information, and the other person doesn't. That woman looks a lot younger than that dude. So, as to why she's afraid, I mean, maybe she has other underlying conditions, so that's fine. But if it's just if she's perfectly healthy and it's just in regards to her age, she should be probably talking like that dude. There's nothing for her to really be afraid of. Once again, though, just don't touch your face. That's just primarily important. Don't touch your face, and if you can make sure those kids are not being crazy all over you, yeah.
Distance learning at Valley Private Schools. Lauren Feldbauer teaches special ed.
Maybe it's because my older brother has autism, or so it's always been kind of part of my life, and so I always have had a special place in my heart for those kids with extra exceptionalities who need a little extra support.
It's led to tears, pride, and affirmation for 5 years now, but providing that support virtually during a pandemic just isn't a perfect system. Her students generally require a much more hands-on approach in every aspect of the learning process.
We understand it's a stressor for parents, of course, because they really have to be there kind of the whole time, assisting them in everything they do, and usually they're here with us with all of our support.
However, as an educator and a parent, she says schools should wait, and many of her coworkers feel the same.
I think right now we should keep it to distance learning, although it's a struggle and not necessarily what's best for our kids or their education. It's best for them health-wise.
Corey Thompson, a Valley Middle School history.
How's it best for them health-wise if they're going to be safe? Then again, special ed. It's probably a little bit fair because I have no idea if there's the branches or how those underlying conditions may spread to health aspects. So I guess that's a little bit fair.
The teacher doesn't agree. He has no fear about returning to the classroom and says students may fall behind if we don't.
You can see, all right,
I guess this is kind of weird because they're actually pitting together almost apples and oranges because these students, they're in different brackets. She's talking about special ed students. He's talking about probably regular students. I don't know. It's kind of odd.
The concept that they're understanding, so I don't have to spend too much time on that. But you can also see at the flip side, they're really struggling.
It's those small nuances inside the classroom that can equate to success or failure. He says his students are participating virtually, but it just isn't the same.
We shouldn't be telling families you have to do this or that. Here's the option. Pick what works best for your family.
He wants all learning options on the table. Right now, that's just not available, something that will soon change as the state looks to get back to school. I'm Cameron Polam, ABC 15, Arizona.
It's definitely a tough situation. It seems to be, at least in my mind, the quickest way to a level starting ground per se is just simply just having, healthy people, being around healthy people, sick people being, quarantined. And so older teachers, you gotta, count your life, and you may have to make that tough decision. The younger teachers, specifically if you don't have any underlying conditions, then you can go back and teach. And just like the fellow was saying in the video, this is going to be another segment concerning this whole school reopening and the trials that'll come.
Classroom in the middle of a pandemic. Some are for it, others are not. Either way, it will happen in certain spots starting Monday.
Yeah, but Katie, one local district planning to head back Monday is losing more educators seemingly by the day. ABC 15's Nicole Valdez speaking with two teachers who just resigned.
Students in Queen Creek are supposed to walk back into school in just 4 days. And a lot of teachers...
Why don't you just start on the other side of the door? Oh, that's funny.
are openly against that, but the district says they have a plan ready to keep everyone safe, and that includes requiring students to wear these. But then we found this, a long list of exemptions. It's just one of many reasons why more and more teachers are handing in their resignations.
Whoa. Why did they go so fast? Like, allow the people to read it. Let's go back and see what this is saying real quick. So, this list is saying students and staff shall not be required to wear facial coverings when they can socially distance. Sounds a little fair. When students are outside and playing in the playground settings and distancing, sounds fair. During breaks for students and staff to take their mask off in a safe environment, I guess so. I mean, if they're in a closet or something. Those who qualify as having medical or behavioral or mental health conditions, obviously very important. Those who have developmental disability or other sensory sensitivities, I'm not really sure what that means, but I can see where that may apply. Individuals who have trouble breathing or where their covering could be a choking, strangulation hazard or limit one's ability to breathe. Yeah. Anyone who is incapacitated or unable to remove the covering without help, very important too. Persons who are swimming or are engaged in activities that may cause the face covering to become wet. I don't really have any idea towards that one. Persons who are eating or drinking, yep, that's necessary. Persons interacting with someone who has hearing loss or is deaf. That sounds actually kind of, just talk louder. Persons who are exercising. Yeah, I guess that one too. Yeah, interesting. Couple are fine, so I mean, for a teacher, what kind of complaints are they going to be putting in resignations for those reasons for? It's kind of ridiculous.
Many reasons why more and more teachers are handing in their resignation letters.
It's agonizing. I mean, my wife and I, we agonized over this left and right.
Take it from Matthew Chicky. Leaving behind a 16-year teaching career isn't easy.
It tears you up. It makes you feel bad. It's like I'm letting them down. But what am I going to do? Do I pick the 150 kids? Or do I pick my kids?
And you don't have to look far.
Hey, not sure if his decision was well informed or not. Who knows? That's his decision. But, you made your decision. So, next in line. Next teacher, come on in so you can get the show on the road.
Hard to find more.
I don't want to be part of an experiment.
Mark DeGros has 42 years under his belt.
I hate to not be able to do it this year, but it's not safe.
He resigned Wednesday and said...
And he's that guy, he just looks like he's in his 60s or something, so that's perfectly fine. That's once again, that's the main demographic where you gotta be careful. And obviously that previous guy, I don't know if he has any underlying conditions. If so, then he probably made the best decision. So it is what it is. You know, you just gotta move forward and try to find something else. Maybe you can do online courses, you know, permanently, and you know, that's just what it's gonna be.
There's more on the way.
It's sad for the students as well. They're going to miss out on some very high quality teachers that with experience that are leaving.
While Queen Creek Unified School officials say back to...
That's true, but it also is important for the parents. Once again, parents should be teaching their children. A lot of the stuff you learn in school, probably nonsense anyway, especially nowadays. So, it's tough.
School means strict mitigation plans. These educators are sharing doubt.
I mean, you're saying masks are required, yet you're giving parents the options to opt out of it. So why require them in the first place?
The district...
I guess he didn't read what we just read together. There's a lot of reasons why it's very obvious why you should allow them to take off their mask. And, you know, it's not even like a permanent thing. It's just, you know, you're just doing something for a moment and then you put your mask back on. So I'm not sure if he read that little paper we just read earlier.
Its own face mask policy breaking down 11 reasons to ask for an exemption, including individuals who have trouble breathing. As we've watched parents band together to fight for classroom instruction and a choice.
Well, teachers have choices too, and this is my choice.
Educators like Chicky and DeGrow removing themselves from what they call a dangerous position.
Queen Creek is making itself into one of the biggest petri dishes, and we're just going to see what happens.
Now I've asked their district...
Sounds a little bit like a threat. You're a little bitter. It shouldn't be that way, man.
What their plan is if a number of teachers do end up leaving as a result, but I was only told HR is working with those educators. No word on how they'll fill those positions by Monday. Nicole Valdez, ABC 15, Arizona.
Yeah, that's it's interesting, you know. Parents, it's the only solution. Parents, you are the solution. Just gotta get informed. I know it's tough though, but you know, a father will help you through it. So, with that being said, I'm Oni.